Smile at the people, Delaney.
Hi everyone.
Delaney's still rocking the jammies today.
Yeah.
We will wait and see if we can catch anybody come on live here with us. I'll give you a couple minutes, and if we get anybody, great. If we don't, I will post the recording for everybody to watch, and hopefully you will learn something. And I would love if you've already made the switch to natural laundry solutions, if you would share them with us and what you like to use and what you found that's worked well in your home.
What's that?
Okay, that is just some messages down below. Okay, we're in our
For who?
for us, but we're not going to interrupt the whole time, right? Okay. We're in our kitchen here today, and I've got some stuff out that I'm going to show you and share with you, and I'm going to post some links below once I post this live video onto my page. So I'm going to post a couple of articles for you, as well as some recipes that you can try at home. Okay, and if you're on live, say hi, or if you have any questions, feel free to post them and I'll answer them along as we go. And if you're watching this as a recording, feel free to post your questions and I will go back and answer them once I'm done. Okay, so I actually began switching to natural laundry solutions before I ever used essential oils or really knew anything about them, mostly just out of a need, not really out of a desire. So when I was off on maternity leave with Delaney here, I decided to go with cloth diapers, and that for me was just an environmental reason more than anything. It's something that I believe in. So in order to get started doing that, we actually used a service, and we did that for a couple of months, and then I felt like it was something that I wanted to do on my own and just give it a whirl, much to my husband's dismay. So we invested in some cloth diapers, and I figured out how to wash them at home. So we had to switch at that point to a natural laundry detergent for a couple of reasons. One, because I wanted the cloth diapers to hold up, because if you've ever experienced cloth diapers or purchasing them before, they are super expensive, and with how frequently you have to wash them, you have to be careful of what you need to use with them. And the other reason is, if you're using scented detergents with cloth diapers, they can hold in the scent and then they end up just reeking. So you have to be really careful about what you use. You're a turkey. So I ended up buying a natural laundry detergent from a local store here in London. Okay, please stop. And it was really expensive, somewhere between $20 and $30 for a package, and that would last me probably less than a month. And I ended up using that same detergent to wash all of her clothes, and I probably did that until she was about a year, and then I started looking for a cheaper option because it was just so expensive. And I began looking, like in grocery stores and Costco, for more natural laundry detergents that weren't so expensive, and I found a couple, and they worked okay, but I wasn't really aware at that point of sort of the greenwashing that companies do to lead us to believe that things are better for us than they actually are. So, you know, the term natural or green makes you feel like you're doing something really good, and then when you flip the bottle around and see that it's still filled with a lot of synthetic ingredients, it's frustrating, because you feel like you're doing something really well, and then you realize that you've kind of been duped. So that's sort of my history about natural detergent. So I'm just going through my notes here again so I don't miss anything. So when I began using essential oils, that's when I started watching videos sort of like what I'm doing here for you, and doing some reading about natural laundry solutions, because I had already made that little jump to using what I thought were better options, but they were still costing me a lot of money, and I was, you know, somewhat impressed. And thanks, Trace. Can you tell I didn't get a lot of sleep last night? And thank you for your appreciation, and I'm happy to do it. So when I started learning about essential oils and watching all these videos, I thought I would give it a whirl making my own detergent, because Ange Peters, who I saw making hers. It looked really easy and like something I could do. So I started doing that, I guess, about 1.5 years ago, and have never really looked back, partly because it's so cheap to make, partly because I know everything that's inside of the laundry detergent that I'm making, and partly because I just really like the way that it cleans, and I really like the way that our clothing holds up. So I just have a little, I was reading some stuff online today on PubMed, P-U-B-M-E-D. It's a great resource if you're looking for information online. You can search any topic and then just type in PubMed beside it and you'll get a host of articles up. Yes. Not right now. After, okay? I'll tell you when it's your turn. She's wanting to be my assistant. So the Consumer Product Safety Commission, which regulates cleaning supplies, air fresheners, laundry products, does not require manufacturers to disclose any ingredients on the label, and that includes fragrance. This is also true for fragrances in personal care items, overseen by the FDA. The Household Product Labeling Act, currently under review, would require that manufacturers would have to label these things with all ingredients, including fragrances. So if something says fragrance on the back of a label, that could mean anything. You have no idea what's in it. So when you see these more natural cleaning products, oftentimes they'll have fragrance listed on the back, or they might even have an essential oil listed on the back, so something like lavender. And unfortunately, you have no idea where that comes from nor how it was distilled. So even though it seems like it's a great option, it still can include some crummy things in it that you don't want, okay? Using things like fabric softeners and regular laundry detergents that we're all used to emit some pretty dangerous chemicals into the air, different aromatic compounds. And if you're someone that has allergies in your family or asthma, you're really going to want to look at making a switch. If you've got kids with skin issues, this is always the first thing that I talk to people about, because you will really notice the difference when you switch to something that isn't filled with fragrance. Another thing that you're going to notice is we've sort of all grown up to have this sort of thought that something has to smell a certain way to be clean, and clean actually doesn't have a smell at all. You shouldn't smell anything. So when you grow up with this, feeling of clean being like downy and baby powder and all these other scents that we've become so accustomed to in our life, that's not clean. That's fragrance that we're smelling. And when you stop smelling those things constantly, you actually become really turned off by them. So I'm going to equate it to if you don't like the smell of cigarette smoke, if you can smell that on somebody's clothing, that's how I feel about fragrance now, because it gives me that same sort of feeling that I just want to cover my mouth and my nose, because it just bothers me. The smell bothers me. It gives me a headache, and that's true for air fresheners, plug-ins, anything like that. So it's an interesting switch to make. So choices. We're going to start there. So as I mentioned, buying a more natural product is always a choice. But again, just be really cognizant of reading the back of the bottle or the label. I was in the grocery store yesterday, just took a peek down the detergent aisle, and I noticed that a lot of the detergents, they actually don't list anything on the bottle. So you actually have to go online and do some research to figure out what's in them. One thing that really bothered me was that I found a baby detergent that actually said stage 1 on it. Interesting marketing, leading people to believe that they actually need a different detergent for babies. And that particular detergent is so filled with fragrance. I can't imagine using something like that anymore. And it actually has, the same amount of fragrance that you would have using, a Tide or something like that. So interesting marketing out there. So just be cognizant of what you're buying. Second choice is making your own detergent. So this is what I do. The detergent that I make costs, I tried to approximately cost it out. It's roughly about $5 for, I'm going to show you what I make it of. So this size, this is what I use for a whole month, and it cost me somewhere between $5 and $7, and that includes the essential oil. Okay, typically I will just use a lemon oil in mine, but you can use whatever you want. The lemon oil is about 5 cents a drop. Okay, just to give you an idea. Another one that lots of people like to use is an oil called Purify. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that. I actually don't particularly love the smell of it. The nice thing about Purify is it does just that. It purifies any kind of really stinky smells. It's great in the laundry. It's great to use if you've got anything, you know, if you've cooked fish or anything like that and you're trying to get the smell out of the air, but that's a great one to use. So just to give you an idea, this mix that I make that costs me, you know, $5 to $7 a month to make, compare that to what you're spending on laundry detergent if you're a numbers person and that's important to you. If you know, you're not quite behind the you know, need to switch to something more natural for, you know, your skin or your health, and if you're, you know, not really behind the idea of you know, what a harmful effect detergents and things can have on our environment. If just from a cost perspective, $5 a month for doing laundry for a family of 4 is pretty incredible. Okay. The other thing that you can do is doTERRA sells their own laundry detergent, which is part of the On Guard line. It's about $25 US, and it does up to 64 loads. It's incredible. I actually don't buy it because I make my own. But I know a lot of people that do, and sometimes, you know, I'll buy it just for kicks, but I prefer to make my own. But if you're someone that's not a DIYer or that just seems overwhelming to you, it's a great one to try. The other thing that I'll talk to you about are dryer balls. So these are 2 of mine. I think I have about 5 in the laundry, and the idea is that these are to help cut down on drying time. So you know, making your drying more efficient and replacing having to use fabric softener or fabric softener sheets. So you can actually just take your whatever essential oil that you want and dab them onto here, a few drops on each ball, to, if you're looking to have a little bit of scent in your laundry. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I'm so lazy when it comes to laundry. I just wanna get it done. I don't even add anything to these anymore. But if you want that smell, you're, you know, totally more than welcome to do that. And I think that's how I got started, but having a scentless laundry does not bother me. The other thing with these are that I've easily had these over a year. They last a really, really long time. These can be found in a gazillion different places now. I think I got these ones at HomeSense. I believe that doTERRA still has some of the Christmas ones available. So I think it's 3 dryer balls, and they come with a bottle of lavender essential oil. I'm gonna double check that, but I'm pretty sure that those are still available. So these are a great option. One thing that we noticed when we made the switch to using dryer balls instead of using fabric softener is that there's definitely more static. So some ways to get around that are separating your synthetic fabrics from your more natural fabrics. So if you've got something that's nylon, for example, don't throw it in with all your cotton because it will likely stick together. Another thing that you can do is put vinegar into your rinse cycle. So this is something that I've started doing recently. And not only does it help with static, but it really helps to clean out your washer. So it's a great thing to do once a week, just with your wash to clean it out. Another thing that I wanted to touch on was stain removal. So those spray-on stain removers are filled with just as much junk as detergent and fabric softener. So a couple of things that you can try are the lemon essential oil again. You can dab that right onto the stain and then pop whatever it is right in the wash. So don't let this sit on the stain for too long. From my experience, it will leave residue on your clothing. Okay. The other thing that you can do, excuse me, I'm just going to get a bottle, is I've got, these are my cleaning bottles, but I've got one of these that sits in the laundry room that is made up of a diluted version of this. So this is the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate, which is amazing basically for anything. It is super, super cost effective, and you can use it for everything from, it says right on it, as a multi-purpose cleaner. You can use it to do your dishes. I know my sister uses this as her dishwashing soap. You can use it, you know, to clean bathrooms, anything like that. So a couple things that you can do. If you have a stain that you notice right away and you know it's going to be something heavy duty, I'm going to use the example of Delaney got strawberry all over a white shirt. I put about a teaspoon of this in the sink with cold water and just let it soak for, I don't know, half an hour, and literally there was nothing left of the stain. So about a teaspoon of this in a sink of water with whatever's stained is a good option. Otherwise, you put about a tablespoon in a bottle this size. You can do it stronger if you'd like for stain remover. So I just keep this on top of my washer and dryer, and I will spray anything that I think is going to be tough to get out just with detergent. Spray it with this and then pop it into the wash. So that I keep in my laundry room. So I don't buy stain remover. I think that was all that I wanted to tell you, except for I'm going to post the recipe for the detergent below, but someone was asking me about my container the other day. So this delightful container that I love, I bought at HomeSense. I want to say it was about $20. So it's got a screw top and it's got a spout on it. One thing that I will say is that last month I didn't wash it out before I made my new batch of detergent, and it definitely was a little bit slower to run. So I would say make sure you really run this clean with hot water before you refill it again, okay? And basically the ingredients for this detergent are water, which I can't price out for you, but water. Castile soap, so this is the one that I buy. This is Dr. Bronner's, and I buy the unscented one because I like to be able to scent it however I like. You can usually find this at Superstore, Loblaws, or if you like to buy things online, well.ca is a great website to buy any kind of natural products. You can typically find them there. I looked yesterday. So this is a 946 ml bottle, and it was, I think, $17.50, something like that. So I use this for my laundry detergent. I use this, we dilute it and we use it for our dishwashing detergent in our sink, and we use this in the bathtub. We use it for virtually everything. So super cheap, great product. So it's just Castile soap, water, baking soda, like what does that cost you? $1. Coarse salt, again, super cheap, and whatever essential oils that you're choosing to use, and you use about 20 drops. My best sort of method to make it would be to combine all of your dry ingredients into whatever you're gonna pour them in with, and then add the essential oil to that so that it's got something to stick to. And then you're going to fill up your container with hot water and then just mix everything together until it all dissolves, and then you're good to go. What I do with this container is I actually just keep a measuring cup, a half-cup measuring cup downstairs in my laundry room, and then I just pour it into the measuring cup and then dump it in. Half a cup is really all that you need. I'll sometimes do a cup if it's a really nasty load of laundry, like poop explosions or anything like that. And the only thing that you have to make sure of is whatever container that you're using to store the detergent in, you need to be able to shake it before you use it each time, because the soap will rise to the top. So I'm okay to shake this each time that I use it, but if you've just got an empty sort of plastic jug of some sort, like an orange juice container, I was using Epsom salt containers for a long time, those are totally fine. So what I did with those is I just used a big huge bucket to mix the actual detergent in first, and then I dumped it into a couple of containers and did it that way. So that is my laundry solution video for you, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them if you're on live. If you have any questions and you're watching this after, just post them or send me a message and I'm happy to answer them. Anybody that's on live, have you made a switch to natural laundry solutions? And how is that going for you? Anyone gotten rid of using fabric softeners or anything like that in their house? I don't know if I have anyone on live. I'm seeing a couple people, but if you do make the switch, and I hope that you try it, please let me know how it goes, and I'm happy to answer any questions along the way. But if there's one cleaning product that I would suggest giving a try, is definitely this. If you're looking to clean up your cleaning products, it's amazing, and it does have the On Guard oil in it, which is another added bonus. Awesome, Trace. Let me know how it goes when you give it a whirl, and hope you're enjoying your time there with your family. Oh, amazing. That's great. What have you noticed with her skin, Tracy, since you've stopped using everything? I remember when Delaney was really little, I thought she was going to have eczema because she had a couple of bouts of it, and I never connected the dots in terms of switching laundry products, but she's never ever had a problem ever since. Yes? Charlie's getting groomed. You want to say hi to the people? Do you like making laundry detergent with Mom? Mm-hmm. I don't know if Tracy's typing and is going to answer us, but at any rate, and you are so welcome. Oh, less dry, no more spots, not itchy. Awesome. That's great. I think that people often don't make that connection with their skin in terms of the laundry, and it would be really the last thing that you think about. No red spots. Awesome. And I think for me, I've noticed that in the winter, I don't notice the same dryness that I did before.
Mommy, did you show that?
I did show it, yes, because you weren't here. Okay, well, you can show them the lemon oil. Okay. Anyways, we will let you.
Did it?
No, I did, but you could show them again. Delaney wanted to be able to show and tell. There's the lemon oil. So I will be back tomorrow with another topic. And again, if you have any questions, let me know and I'm happy to answer them. And if you're watching this as a recording, please share. Careful. Please share if you've switched to natural laundry solutions and you want to share what you've been happy about, what you've had success with, and if anything has not worked out. Okay? Have a great day, everybody. Bye. And we will see you tomorrow.